game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, electricity, that place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks
Donovan.
like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Hold your horses. What the hell is going on? Welcome into the Buccateers. It's cocktail hour on a Friday night. Tampa Tones along some great gentlemen this evening. Our great co-hosts, Bucco and Hancho. We're going to bring him in here in a minute as we got a huge Week 2 matchup coming up with the Chicago Bears, former rivals of the Bucs, way back in the day, way back when we were in the same division in the NFC.
Someone's childhood team.
No. Don't you put that on me, Bucco. Never that, buddy. Never that. You've been following me on Twitter since...
Long enough. I know better, yes.
So how the hell are you? We got Donnie Steppin' Peppin in the room saying what's up. We got Tyler Sharp watching on Facebook. So let's get right into it, Bucco. How the hell you doing this Friday, brother? Thanks for taking time out of your great schedule and coming.
Glad to be here. Hey, man, for future reference for the pod, Fridays and Mondays are the only days we don't have softball or baseball. So on those days, I will join. I'm blessed and highly favored to be here, even though, I got to deal with you and Ben. I'm happy to be here. Let's roll, man. Let's get it.
You know there's no place you'd rather be on a Friday night. It's not like you have kids.
Not true. There's some places I'd rather be, but I can't put that on the air. You know what I'm saying?
I think
it involves dollar bills and daddy issues, but we're here. I'm happy to be here, though. Let's go.
I could name a couple places off, the highway right next to Ray J. It's a beautiful place. But Hancho, how the hell you doing, brother? Welcome in, and it's great to have us three back as we're talking Bucs Bears.
I'm here. Yeah, blessed and highly favored. Glad to have Uncle Bucco on the show. Tampa Tones.
Hey.
Yeah,
nephew, I had to show up for you, nephew. I couldn't leave it just you and Tones. I had to show up.
Give us a little flavor.
Our Bears guy crapped out. What else is new? Hopefully the Bears crap out like our Bears guest was supposed to, fellas. But we got score predictions flowing in already. We'll give ours in a little bit, but 24
jumping the gun.
Bucs win. We got Donnie saying Diamond Dolls. All right, so we got some I think I could imagine what that entails. And then you go into the game, Tones. Bucs start the season 2-0. So, real quick here, I've gotten this question from like 20 Chicagoans who are flying to Tampa. A lot of Tampa peeps are hitting me up. They're like, are you coming to the game? Are you coming to the game? I'll answer it like this. I'm coming to a game very soon, and that game is going to be Bucs-Eagles. I'm flying out to Tampa for Bucs-Eagles. I decided to save a couple more dimes, and I'm going to go out there with my pops and family and really enjoy a Monday night game. Hopefully enjoy a Monday night game. We could have went for Bucs Bears, but
bro, you don't know how lucky you are. Did you see what the heat index is going to be at Ray J on Sunday? Whew.
Over 100, I think.
You made the right choice, bro. Let me tell you this. September in Tampa in a 1 o'clock game, bro. Now that I'm 40 and fat, miss me with them, bro. I love my Bucs, but I'm not fitting to suffer and be miserable to catch the game. You know what I mean? I can't do that no more. That's a young man's thing.
You're looking great to me, buddy. Wouldn't you say, Hunch?
Yeah, you looking the same.
Hey, large and what you chewing on a stick? What's going on?
Nah, Capri Sun.
The straw, the stick, same thing. But
same.
Yeah, one of our co-hosts, Stunna, I went to a preseason game before, and Stunna sometimes it gets so hot in August at the stadium, he has to go into the concourse with a towel a little bit, cool down, because it gets so damn hot.
It's brutal, bro. I'm telling you, man. Like, I mean, look, I know it may not look like it now, but back in my heyday, putting on them pads and playing football in this weather for 13 years of my life, like, bro, I'm not gonna voluntarily go do that for leisure. You know what I mean? I know what it is down there. Killer, you know what it is down there. It's a different environment, and that's why, like, while I hate the all-white uniform combination aesthetically, I understand the reasoning behind it to make them wear solid colors and make them sit in that sun. It's a home field advantage, even if the crowd will be 50-50, which when the Bears, the Giants, the Eagles, when those guys come to town, let's not kid ourselves. It's going to be a 50-50 crowd. That's what it's going to be,
Yeah, and we got our home opener, so even though it's a home opener, we're expecting a lot of Bears fans. As I said, a lot of Chicagoans hitting me up. I know they're going to the game. Speaking of going to the game, JC Allen in the house.
JC, celebrity
we got him
appearance.
for at least a little bit. We were able to wrestle him away from SmackDown for a couple of moments and get his insight on the game, Bucco and Hunch. So, JC, how the hell you doing, brother? Welcome in as always. I know you got a busy plate on your schedule this weekend, but we appreciate you making some time for people like us.
Finally, JC has come back to the Buccateers podcast.
Yes, he did, baby. What the hell's up? For those of you that are unaware, The Rock is back in the world of wrestling tonight. So 2 GOATs return. JC returns. The Rock returns. I know Bucco and Hancho were worried about The Rock returning.
Nah, I mean, dude, I'm so far disconnected from wrestling. I'm glad The Rock, because I would have liked to see that. I wish I'd have known, but no, I'm so far disconnected, I wouldn't even know.
Is The Rock back, or is it Dwayne Johnson?
I think he came as like a guest appearance as The Rock, right? Like,
yeah, JC would know better than me. JC, I'm watching my bets fall apart here slowly. JC's, I think, tuned into SmackDown. JC, was it The Rock? Is it a one-off?
It was The Rock. Kicked off with Pat McAfee out there and Austin Theory, A-Town down. Started, mouthing off, and The Rock had to come out and put him into place, give him a little bit of a elbow. I've got someone here who wants to say hi. Go ahead, little Missy.
Hi.
Hey, little mama.
Hi. How you doing? Happy Friday.
Good.
Hey.
Go Bucs. Go Bucs, baby girl.
Yep. Don't buy into any Patriots sort of fandom.
Hey, but let's not kid ourselves on why JC's on the pod. He saw Bucco was coming on. He's got some articles to write. He's got to steal my greatness again. You know what I mean?
JC, so what's up, brother? While we have you, what's cooking for your articles? I just seen you drop the keys to Cannon Fire last night, it looks like. I know you dropped one on Monday. What else is cooking for you this week, brother?
Yeah, so I had the extra point come out Monday. That was my takeaways from the Vikings game. I had Through the Spyglass, which is my scouting report, so to speak, of the Bears. That came out on late Thursday night. That was a late one. And then today I had Keys to Cannon Fire. Tomorrow I'll have a matchups preview. We'll also have a little story too about the Bucs cruise that's going on. If you guys can afford it, if you guys can get out there, it's going to be a blast. I was talking to some of the guys in the locker room the other day, and it should be a great time out there with the Bucs players, having some brewskis with them. They get a little wild and rambunctious, so.
Was it like a little day cruise at a John's Pass or something? What is
no, I think it's like an actual cruise, if I remember correctly. Last year,
4-day cruise.
Yeah, I think Lenny F was there last year. Tristan Wirfs, Jamel Dean.
Yeah, so the lineup, it's a 4-day cruise that hits up Key West and the Bahamas. There'll be Leonard Fournette, not Leonard Fournette. He was there last year, but he's definitely not there. Jamel Dean, Joe Trine-Shranka, Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield Jr., K-Dot, and Rashad White, as well as legends Dexter Jackson, Martin Gramatica, and even Mr. Derek Brooks will be making an appearance. So,
wow.
Damn.
Is JC Allen going to be there?
I am. I'll be covering the event, which is always nice.
Oh, so you're promoed in. You're comped in, you son of a biscuit. Oh, you son of
I'll
a
be working
biscuit.
it, but yeah, I'll
God
also be
bless you.
out there working it.
I will not be able to afford such a package, but I will bet you money. And JC, I need some reporting on this. I bet you money Grammatica can throw him back. That dude is going to be a party animal. I
I'm sure you
guarantee
will be.
it.
Peppin Steppin says Tristan doing backflips in the pool drunk, LOL.
He
I remember
did actually.
yeah, I remember he was having all kinds of fun last year. You know what the funniest thing was about the Bucks cruise last year? Lenny F wasn't even signed up to be on it. And then, I feel like when he knew he was getting released, he got the free cruise. I love Lenny
Yeah,
F.
he
But
said,
that
hell
was
with it. Hey,
Might as well take it.
I will always
right.
appreciate Lenny for what he did, man. But God bless him.
He's
As
nowhere
we
right
got
now,
my
so
man
it's all good.
Levi watching on Facebook. JC, we'll start hot and heavy here, buddy. Baker was baking in his press conferences this week. I think he's gained some pizzazz and attitudeness and toughness back that not that he lacked it last year perhaps, but I think when you're coached by a guy like Matt Rule and then you get released halfway through the year, I think that's hard on somebody. I think that's hard on a soul. I think Baker's finding himself a little bit. I'm not going to fully put my foot down and say Baker's a Baker of old after 1 week, but I do like what I've seen out of Baker in week 1. Do you think Baker's going to bake this week, and do you like what you see from him, not only on the field, but off the field so far? It looks like he's doing some great stuff for the community. It seems like his press conferences are going pretty damn interesting over there, and we'll talk about more press conferences. It seems like we got some refreshment with Canales in the building. We hear you all the time in those pressers, so we know you're the man to ask on stuff like this. Do you think the pizzazz is back with Bake? Do you think Bake is going to bake?
Oh yeah, there's definitely obviously on Sunday, lowering his shoulder, stiff arming, he was feeling a bit dangerous on Sunday. So I think that he's got that swag. I don't think he's lost it. I think there's a certain humbleness with it. I got to give a shout out to Baker and Chris and Rashad for dropping all those Drake Drake song titles in
Dude,
their
that was
press con. I
crazy.
didn't even pick up on that the other day, so that was great when they came up with that. But that was awesome, and I think he's definitely earned the respect more so of his teammates as well. Devin White was on Good Morning Football talking about it and just talking about the difference between him and Brady. And, they're in college at the same time. And it's a little bit more easy to relate. And him being able to show that physicality and toughness and do it whatever it takes to win the game has certainly earned him some leeway with that locker room if he should struggle at all. So, I definitely think Baker's got a chance to bake. The Bears slot corner Kyler Gordon was put on IR. He was their starting slot corner with a hand injury.
Mm-hmm.
His backup Josh Blackwell is doubtful with a hamstring injury, so they're going to be going down to like their third string nickel cornerback. So expect to see a lot of guys rotate in that role. Mike, Chris, Palmer, Rakim, and also DT. When Godwin's in there, yeah. Whew, I think he's going to be able to do some cooking there, and Baker's going to do some bacon, and they're going to make some some full course meals out of that Bears defense.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great analogy there. I love to hear that. Bucco, what are your thoughts on Baker? I agree with JC. And when you find a defense like the Bears that's a little vulnerable with injuries, especially as JC was alluding to, I think you got to signify those weaknesses. And I think you really got to do attack them. And I think that'll be a telltale sign to see where not only Baker Mayfield is, but this Bucs offense in general, to see if they really do try and patch up on the soft spots of this Bears defense. Because a lot of the time last season, not to keep knocking or beating a dead horse, as one may say, if PETA wants to come at me for saying that still, well, screw him. But, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but Byron oftentimes last year really didn't exploit defense's weaknesses, Bucco. He kind of just was on repeat mode and sleepwalking, it seemed, on a weekly basis. So we'll see. To me, if Canales and Baker attack the Bears' weaknesses and injuries this week, I think that's a hell of a step in the right direction, although it's only week 2.
Absolutely. The most refreshing thing last week, and me and JC talked about it via the Twitters, but or X, whatever you call it, but just having in-game and halftime adjustments is so damn refreshing. Even Todd Bowles, you can see Todd Bowles even made adjustments on the fly, who was, in our opinion, last year stoic and almost uninvolved. Just like Byron was like, screw it, I'm not being game plan specific. It's my ones versus your ones. Go out and make a win. That was basically the offense. And then without having an offensive line, Tom Brady led the league in passes of 1 yard or less of the line of scrimmage, right? I think something unbelievable to that regard. But Baker Mayfield's press conferences is the least of my worries. I know he's a personality. He's, magnanimous, I guess would be the verb. But he's been in commercials. He's been this. He's been that. His leadership with the young players on the team would tell them, hey, I'm picking up signals. Tell them, hey, y'all grind it out. We're gonna run this 4 minutes out. We're not giving them the damn ball back. The stiff arm, get your weight up, little boy. Those type of leadership intangibles on the field carry exponentially more weight than what he says in a press conference and his swagger, so to speak. So yes, I was impressed with Baker, even though, let's be honest, it's a middle of the road, mediocre-esque quarterback performance, right? But
Right.
now that I saw Brian Flores' defense again against the Philly offense yesterday, where they did the same thing to us, a lot of cover 2, a lot of cover 3, keeping everything in front, limiting the big play, yet we still were efficient enough and creative enough to move the ball and score points on them. I'm actually confident going up against the Chicago Bears defense, whose DC, I guess, got so nervous by Baker Mayfield, and then with the injuries on top of that, I'm actually extremely optimistic about this matchup. Really am.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bucko. You pulled a little shake and bake there. I'm glad. It wasn't a bad disconnection, though. It was only half a second. But really, no, you're good, brother. That was the craziest thing I ever seen. That was awesome, to be honest. That was the coolest disconnect ever because you were back so damn quick. I will say this, Bucko. I agree with you completely. I'm not really too concerned with so much of Baker's sayings as I am on his on-field ability, but I've liked what I've seen on and off the field. And I'll say this, the offense could have even been a little more efficient if K-Dot and Mike Evans didn't drop a couple of those balls that Baker seemingly threw at them pretty well, as K-Dot and dropped a decent one. And Mike Evans dropped an easy touchdown as well, it seems. So, it really seemed like the Bucs could have bit a little more off than they even chewed. Speaking of Mike Evans, I just want to give a quick shout out while I'm on the subject to Smack Apparel. They did send me a $25 gift card, and I got pretty much just pay Mike's shirt with the Smack Apparel gift card. So everybody make sure you go check out Smack Apparel today. They do a great job of making Bucs shirts. After the Super Bowl, they hooked me up with the Super Bowl edition Bucs t-shirts now with the gift card. So much love to Jeff Antonellan and those guys at Smack Apparel for really providing not only the Bay Area with top of the line clothing, but really a lot of sports out there. If you guys are unaware, there's a lot of good product on the Smack Apparel. Speaking of good product, I thought Todd Bowles put on a good coaching product. I thought, like that Randy Marsh episode of South Park where he had to walk around with his big old balls in a freaking wheelbarrow. I thought
wheelbarrow.
Todd Bowles, that was awesome. I thought Todd Bowles showed that big old ballness as well, his toughness. And Bucko, we'll start with you here. To me, it was only one game, but again, a couple of the decisions that Todd Bowles made week 1 put him strides ahead of Todd Bowles that we've seen last year. Going for it 4th and inches, knowing the Vikings would probably drive down and at least get a field goal or something like that. Todd Bowles put the Vikings in a spot where, hey, Bucs are in control of this one. And then having that faith in a guy they signed, Chase McLaughlin, is Donnie Pepin. He knows that's my guy. Said, how about your kicker? Chase is my guy. He came up so clutch. Bucko, to me, Todd Bowles coached a hell of a game this past week.
He did. Really, it was across the board. coordinators, even the guy we have murdered on this pod, Coach Armstrong, and the special teams unit on all three levels of that special teams unit were spectacular. And shout out to Bucs Game Day, JC Allen on Twitter. If you're not following them and not interacting with them, please do so. Mm-hmm. Shout out to them. The interaction with the fan group, answering the questions, and then having the niceness or wherewithal to, tag the guys who, cooperated with the article in a well-written article, well-written answers, including to myself. But yeah, that special teams unit was one of the most impressive units of the day, with the good returns, very minimal kickoff returns for the Vikings, but good returns on our end. 2 extra points made, 2 field goals made, having the balls to kick that 57-yarder. And if my wife was here, she would tell you. I was like, "Why are you kicking this damn field goal?" Okay, good job. No. Okay, good job. That was the moment. But coaching perspective wise, it was refreshing. It was the first time in 17, 18 games we've seen good coaching. So yes, I'm encouraged going forward.
JC, we got Kenny B, our man Kenny in the chat. And Bucco, I do agree with everything you said. Kenny says, "Bah humbug, we pulling this one off. Fellas, all signs say we should win, but I got a little bit of a bad feeling. Everything just went so well, minus the offensive start. It's just hard for me to be confident in having such a good coach team last week." Ken, I do agree.
Such a negative Nelly. Yeah, those Ivy Leaguers are such pessimists, aren't they?
I do agree with Ken in one aspect, in the fact that it was like last week's performance. I mean, we all predicted the Bucs to win, but the national cranks out there, none of them did so. So the performance that the coaching staff, the defense, and then the second half offense put on was pretty good. It was for the Bucs, especially week 1. JC, do you have any doubt that the Bucs win this week? Is there a doubt in your mind that the Bucs come and maybe lay an egg?
No, just to echo what Bucco said, I think he's hit the money on the head there. All 3 aspects of the game. If the Bucs can play like they played in that second half every week, there's no reason why this team cannot be a winning team going forward. The adjustments all across the board were excellent. Special teams was excellent, and that's weird to say because it's been a problem in the past couple of years. But I think I don't see a scenario in which the Bucs lose this game, just because I think Justin Fields still has not proved himself as a passer. The Bucs run defense looked really stout. It does make me a little bit nervous. Zion McCollum going on DJ Moore. I can see them getting theirs. This Bears team is really good run after the catch, so tackling is going to have to be sound. But I just think the offense, too, I mean, there's not many players on this Bears defense that scares you with the injuries they have. I think one of the keys to the game, obviously, you want to get that ground game going. If you can get that ground game going against this Bears team, the Packers ran it for 92 yards, which wasn't great. But when you look at their starting running backs, they, each averaged over 4 yards a carry.
They were over 4.5 a carry for the game. Yeah, that's money.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was impressive. And then their ability to take those short passes and turn them upfield. I think when you look at this Bears defense, Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, they do better defending that deep ball than they do that, those quick passes, short passes, even the intermediate routes. That's where I think you can take advantage of them, get those linebackers in coverage. Edwards and Edmonds, they're big money acquisitions. They're great downhill run stuff in linebackers. But really when it comes to coverage, they let up over 100 yards to both of those running backs last week in the screen game. So there's definitely ways for them to take advantage of this team on offense. Defense, it's just, let's hope Izzy can go and that he's 100%. I think they can overcome Kancey. They did it for most of the game last week. And let's just hope Zion has really, truly become a better tackler. It looks like he's playing a little quicker and faster from the preseason. It just, hopefully he's a sound fundamental tackler. And same thing goes for the rest of the team. They need to have a performance like they did last week in the tackling aspect of it, and they should. I don't see a reason why they'd lose this game.
I love to hear that, JC, as I think all of Bucs fans love that, as your analysis is usually pretty dang spot on, and that's why SI Game Day went and got out the big free agent, JCL, and they like traded free. It's like Steph Curry, getting acquired, JC going to SI Game Day. It was just
stop it.
Match made in heaven. No, dude, you don't the Sports Illustrated connection in this family. I think my dad's been subscribed to Sports Illustrated for like 40 years now or something like that. I know you guys are SI Game Day, but it's technology advancing. You guys are moving up in the world. Same thing, Sports Illustrated, still under the same umbrella. So it's a pleasure, man, having you on and talking all this great talk. Hancho, first of all.
I do have to run, though, but I do want to say always a pleasure to come on and talk to you guys. I'll give my final score prediction if you didn't read it. I think the Bucs are going to win this game 27-16. They'll let Chicago get one on the board, but they're holding the field goals a few times. I don't think the Bucs offense is ready to explode yet, but I do think they put some points on this board. So 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals sounds just about right to me.
And real quick, JC, thanks so much for joining us. Who's your player of the game before you bounce, brother?
It's going to be Chris Godwin. I just don't think they're going to have an answer for him.
Hey, tell hi. In the slot. Tell hi to the whole family. Thanks for joining us on a Friday. Tell the daughter she made the best guest appearance of the year so far. So she's her daddy, and we love having him. So thanks, JC.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys later.
My apologies for the technical difficulties. We had a collapse of our stand here, but no. Real quick before KB leaves, he says he's not overly confident in the Bucs being able to repeat. Ask him how confident he was in beating Bucco in fantasy last week, and did he succeed with that? So he could take his confidence and shove it somewhere. Let's go, Bucs! Come on, man, get your weight up, KB. That's it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I had to do that. Go ahead, Hunch. Let's roll.
Oh man.
I talk shit, guys. I'm sorry. I talk shit.
Hunch, I think it doesn't say you're muted, Hunch, but I can't hear your audio right now. Bucco, could you hear Hunch?
I cannot. He's got a face for radio, but apparently he does not have a voice for it.
I will say this. Wow, Kenny says Bucco is the Saints. I'm the Bucs. I beat him when it matters. Wow.
Ooh, no chips though. Just me, Tones, and Cody with the chips. Isn't that funny how that works out? Oh boy.
The Buccateers be bringing the Super Bowl rings home in the fantasy.
That's it.
League.
It's Ring City. 3 years, 3 rings. Get your way to either way. We'll move on.
It took me. I had to beat you and Kenny last year, so it was a hard playoff journey. I will say this. Ken makes a great point, says you have to appreciate JC's grind, man. Bucco, I remember 3 years ago, it was a Friday night. I think it might have been Cody and myself on the Buccateers at that time on a Friday night. This was when JC Allen was at Bucs Report. And, he was doing his own show called The Audible with Joshua Cole Allen on Bucs Report Friday nights. I believe it was a fantasy football show or it was an all Bucs show, something along those lines. But it was Friday nights with Joshua Cole Allen. And then just, a short time later, he joins Pewter Report, becomes a star that he is, and now he's in Sports Illustrated Game Day. It is a pleasure having JC as always. Hancho, you with us, brother? Yep, now we can hear you, brother.
My bad. I had to grab my laptop.
Wait 1 minute, Hancho, not to cut you off, but Pepin had a comment earlier about a giveaway, and he said he has to go now, so I just want to address him quick. Steppin' Pepin, before you do hop off, you had a comment about our giveaway. We are doing a giveaway. It's going to be a 3-tiered giveaway, so we're going to announce it tomorrow. It will entail just following the podcast and following me and retweeting a tweet, and you have the chance to win this beautiful, hold on 1 minute, I have it right here. Don't go anywhere. this beautiful Luke Godecki autograph and mini helmet, customized mini helmet. Let me take it out of the packaging. Even has his number 67 on it, Fire the Cannons on it, and the Bucs alternate logo. So be on the lookout for a tweet tomorrow. You'll be able to win this Luke Godecki signed mini helmet that is inscribed Fire the Damn Cannons, number 67, his autograph. And then it's kind of cool. On this side is his number. On this side is the Bucs logo. So everybody listening, be on the lookout for that this weekend. And then the next giveaway we're going to do will be cool. It'll actually be a Buccateers themed Halloween podcast t-shirt that the guys will be rocking as well. Speaking of rocking, I hope Ray J's rocking for our season opener. It's going to be our home opener, not our season opener, but our home opener. And Bucco JC gave us his score and player of the game. Let's get your thoughts, brother. Where are you headed with the score prediction, and who do you see stepping up for the Bucs in this one?
Hey, I'm going to go off the beaten path with this one. I know we all love Rachaad White. I know we had high hopes for Rachaad White. But I'm going to tell you this here, guys. The holes that I saw open up against this Bears front, and as hard as I saw Sean Tucker running at the end of that game last night, give me Sean Tucker leading the Bucs in rushing. Give me Sean Tucker as the player of the game. Give me ball control, clock management offense. It'll be low scoring. 23-16 Tampa Bay victory. Another 2-turnover performance. Another multiple sack performance. Sean Tucker being the MVP of the game.
Yeah, it's funny. Thank you, KB, by the way, for helping us reshare the giveaway. Sorry, I'm sneezing here a minute. Sorry about that. And Jeremy.
You're allergic to my takes?
Yeah, I think I was allergic to something Bucco said. Hold on a minute. No, it's all out of my system. But no, Sean Tucker, I will say this. Our giveaway, or not our giveaway, now I got giveaway in my head. Our undrafted free agents last week looked incredible between the kid from Rutgers, Christian Isian, the nickel, and Sean Tucker, although limited carries for Tucker. And then you throw in the likes of, I know it was last season, but Tompkins was the UDFA last year. And then Jarrett didn't play much, but I really like the potential of not only the rookies and the young guys on the Bucs, but the UDFAs that the Bucs have to offer as well. So Bucco's going 23-16 with Sean Tucker. Donnie Pepin went 24-14, Shaq Barrett. JCL in 27-16, Godwin. Jeremy's going 28, J-Lo 28-17. Who's your player of the game, J-Lo? Hunch, where are you going, brother?
I'm gonna go with. I see the Bears probably getting 17 points, and I'm gonna say at least about 26.
26-17.
26-17. Who's your player of the game?
Of course, you got to go with Mayfield. One with Mayfield.
Let's bake, baby.
Let's bake, baby.
Speaking of which, I got him on a prize picks for over 8.5 yards rushing. So I need him to stiff arm a couple of Bears and get me that. That would be nice.
Last week, I thought I got a steal on this. Hancho and I, on the way too early pregame show last week, we went over a lot of prop bets and whatnot. Baker Mayfield's over-under rushing was 4.5 last week.
Oh, that's easy money.
That was free cheese.
Money. He's definitely going to get first down.
It's doubled to 8.5 this week, but he's still getting that.
Yeah, he's still getting. The only way he never gets to 10 is if we're winning and he has to kneel it like 3 times, so he loses like 3 yards on 3 yards, or he gets hurt. But
I really like that. My bad. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother.
You're good, brother.
I really, even though we had minimal success early, and I mean minimal success early, I love that they kept with the run. The 33 runs, 34 passes, that type of balance, even if you're not having success, not giving up on it and trying to maintain physicality in the trenches, that's Buccaneer football that we grew up with, guys. And I'm happy to see some semblance of that returning. Even if it's not where we want it to be, just keep plugging away, it'll get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't give up on it, like Byron.
Yeah.
Oh, is that coming at Byron right there? We got a Byron call out.
Fuck you, Byron. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was talking about this with my old man the other day. Is Kenny B says, all I know is I don't know if we will have a 100-yard rusher, but this is a week our running back should average 4 to 5 yards a game. Good pick, Bucco. We may or may not have a 100-yard rusher, but all I know is this defense to have 4 to 5 yards per carry. So good pick, Bucco. J-Lo picks Mike Evans with 2 touchdowns. All I know is this, fellas, and I'll get into my score prediction and player of the game here in a minute, but my old man and I, Tampa Pops, we were watching, hey, let's party. The over in Maryland, Virginia just hit.
You're kidding me. Those two
Yeah.
inept offenses. All right.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's the sound of betting more money on the Bucs this Sunday. But I will say, KB sounds like he's logging off. Thanks for joining us, KB, as always, brother. I will say this. I lost my train of thought celebrating the damn over in this.
Your pop said something. Your pop said some shit.
Yeah, you
What'd your
remember
pop say?
better than I. Are you not
No.
on bourbon right now? How do you remember more? than
I have a cup full of bourbon and ginger. It's delicious, by the way.
That's awesome. I just have, not just, but I have my fine Wisconsin New Glare Spotted Cow brew right here. I usually drink bourbon, but if I started doing that on the pod, more might come out than we might want. So I'll keep it classy with the brew. But
who's calling somebody? What the French?
Is Hancho on the phone right now making a call? That's love right there. Maybe he's calling Dave Canales. Speaking of Dave Canales, that's what I was going to say, Bucco. My pops and I were watching Dave Canales' press conference the other day, and I think it was 2 days ago the press conference came out. I was showing him it, and we were like, man, it's just so refreshing to hear like realness and openness and non-bitterness in those press conferences. And he's, such a stat guy. He has the percentages of everything in his head. He knows what he did 2 years ago with a certain Seahawks stat. He knows what the Bucs did on the ground to a T. He knows this, he knows that. I'm not saying that he's automatically a hit so far, but all I'm saying is I've been completely impressed with Dave Canales, and to be completely honest, I do like Byron had very little to do with their Super Bowl, but I'll always appreciate the staff and the coaching.
Very little.
I'll always appreciate Byron. He did win a ring, but it's just a breath of fresh. I met Byron once, not a bad dude, not a mean dude, but Dave Canales just seems like the dude right now. It's a little bit refreshing, Bucco. What say you?
No, I mean, it is, because the main thing that I get from him, which is the main thing that I get from Pete Carroll, who is one of my favorite NFL guys or football guys in general. This guy's damn near 80, out there running QB drills, running routes, like coaching up young players, running, DB drills. This guy just loves football, and he's a football guy who happens to be good at coaching. This guy, Dave Canales, unlike Byron, who, let's be honest, Byron was groomed by Arians to, get in this position. He never really grinded it out, so to speak, right?
Right.
He came straight from playing for Bruce to being groomed into this position. Dave Canales is a virtual nobody. He wasn't an all-star player. He wasn't he's a grinder, tape grinder, a football guy that loves football. It's the same where Sean McVay came from a consultant or whatever you call an intern on the Buccaneers staff back in 2003 to what he is. If you're a football guy, if you're a grinder and you love this game and you can work both the analytics and the actual ball of it and make people believe in what you're trying to do, that is the beauty of this game. That you can have a nobody become a great coach. Like who's one of my favorites of all time? Andy Reid. Andy Reid and guys like Mike Holmgren, they were high school teachers, teaching history in high school, but loved football and found out a way to teach the game and become, I'm not saying Dave Canales is Andy Reid. I'm not saying Dave Canales is Pete Carroll, but coming under that tree and grinding and learning football the right way and connecting with men as men and not like this entitled Byron, which that's what I can, I see him as an entitled. You saw the way he handled the media, questioning his decision making. He's saying this ain't fantasy football. Like, no, dude, play action works. The numbers say that this ain't fantasy football. That type of arrogance and entitlement, I think, was a negative. This positive football talk and just happy to be here stuff, I think separates Canales from other coaches we've had in the past.
Yeah, and I never quite understood why Byron was always like that. Like I said, I met him in person, and he seemed like a good guy. He was a good guy, but at the end of the day, when you tried to talk X's and O's with him, he just had that shtick to him. Canales comes off as such a nice guy to talk to about the game. Hancho, let me ask you this. I'm going to give my score and player of the game prediction after this, and then we'll get into a couple more segments as we close out the cocktail hour. We still got time, though, with you fellas, so don't go anywhere. Hunch, let me ask you this. We're doing all this talking about Dave Canales, who's done a good job after game one. Let's put it like this. Defensively, I know Bowles still has a big imprint on all that defensively, kind of like Bruce did with Byron. Sadly, Byron didn't take enough of Bruce's advice, it sounded like. Do you think Larry Foote and Casey Rogers, are doing an adequate job running the defense? And do you think that these cats are getting the credit they deserve, or do you think it's still mainly Bowles behind the grand scheme of things for this defense?
I mean, of course, it's Bowles. He's the mastermind. He makes the engine. He makes the train go. But these guys are awesome at their jobs. I feel like defense doesn't regress year by year. The defense has gotten better. And Larry Foote, I don't know how much say and what he has on the defense and what they're doing, but if it's coaching them up, I think he's doing a good job. I want to see what Zion McCullum, what he can bring, and did we actually groom him to step up to the plate for this opportunity right now? And
that's your guy.
Yeah, I like him. For the most part, I feel like Todd Bowles, he's the one that's calling the shots, and he makes sure that everybody's on the right page. And yeah, he's a defensive coordinator, and I hope he never gives that to any one of those guys to call the plays. Dave Canales, he came up climbed up the scale to get to what he was. Byron was handed it pretty much. So I like Dave Canales. Also, he's open, he talks, he's not closed-lipped, he's social, he'll give you everything you want to hear, but without giving the plan away, so I mean, they already calling for him to be head coach. I didn't see something come out today where it was like he's a candidate for a head coach, which was
pump the brakes a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like,
yeah, let's calm down. He was a nobody, and we were the second worst team in the league a week ago. Now you want to steal my guy? Chill out.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, the defenses look good and sharp. I just want them healthy. If they can stay healthy, I think we'll have a top 5 defense for sure. And just excited about that.
Yeah, remember a couple years back, it was after the 2019 LSU National Championship run. Their offensive coordinator was the up-and-comer Joe Brady. He ended up becoming the Panthers' offensive passing game coordinator. Now you don't even hear that guy. He was supposed to be a shoo-in head coach and this and that. So as much as we've seen from Canales, as much good as he's brought to the table, let's let it play out a little more before we could consider him.
Let's not start crowning him.
His
energy. Like Denny Green, the former Cardinals coach, said, if you want to crown him, then crown their ass. But he's not who we thought they were.
And of course, it's the Bears. Hey, are the Bears who we think they are? Are we good? Look, Tones, let's be honest now. You live up there. For some reason, we struggle with this team, even when they're down bad, with Mitchell Trubisky throwing 6 touchdowns on our ass. With last year, Khalil Herbert ran for almost 200 against us. You get what I'm saying? For some reason, the history with this football team has not been a positive one. I think that's what KB was trying to allude to earlier, but I really think that the mindset and the mantra with this team is not going to overlook this Chicago team this week. You feel that?
I definitely feel you, because my score prediction will entail just what you're depicting here, Bucco. I think the Bucs actually do end up the Bears here, 30-21 final score. I think the Bucs are able to put 3 offensive touchdowns on the board, and I think Chase with the $, as we call him, Big Money Chase McLaughlin, who did a hell of a job all throughout preseason and week 1, hits on 3 field goals as well. I think Bears get a garbage time touchdown. I think they keep it competitive in the first half. We pull away a little bit in the third quarter. And I think the player of the game here, I was really tempted to say Devin White. I think he's going to have an incredible game. And I think Devin White played real well last week. And,
Right.
He played great.
He's going to have, I will say this as well, for as much crap as Bucs fans give people, I've seen a lot of Bucs fans giving their flowers to Devin White last week. So I will say kudos to Bucs fans for doing the right thing and giving the man his props and not being little freaking babies about it. And, well deserved. And me and my pops, we watch all the games together. We were watching last week, and Devin White's probably one of the stronger players in the NFL, and you could just tell by the way how he tackles. It doesn't matter how high. He probably has the highest wrap-up I've ever seen in terms of, like, tackling form. Like, he's always aiming for the chest or the head. But he gets him down.
He almost got Levante David killed. Did you see how quickly he slung Kirk Cousins like that and got Vita Vea to hit hit Levante? So that sling that Kirk Cousins is 220 pounds. That's a grown man. He took him and threw him like I'm playing wrestling with my son on the couch. And it caused Vita Vea to hit Levante so hard I thought he concussed him. That was incredible what he did.
Yes. Hunch? Did you see also he's just immediate impact. Off impact, he's taking whoever he's tackling, doesn't matter if it's a tight end or what it is, but they're stopped in their tracks. And TJ Hawkinson or whatever his name, he got creamed last week. I mean, Devin White.
And look at how Hawkinson did last night.
He was trucking folks last night. Didn't he destroy that Vontae Mattis guy, tear his pec? Look,
right.
The thing is this. I was very angry watching how wide open the holes were for the Eagles running last night compared to what we did against them. But then I had to remember we don't have the Eagles offensive line, right? those guys are incredible. However, we do have a very comparable line to the Packers, if not a better one. Mm-hmm. And I'm confident we're going to have those holes this week against the Bears. So it's a work in progress. I know Caleb Mock toughed out and played 100% of the snaps while being hurt with a back injury. Let's see if he's a little healthier. Let's see if these guys can gel. I just don't want that lull where we lull ourselves to sleep with Justin Fields and, no Carlton Davis, no Isdian, if I mispronounce his name, forgive me. But having two of our starting 3 corners out, even though it's a depleted wide receiver core, it's still troublesome. So let's hope we don't get lulled to sleep and play down to a bad team here.
Devin has to be more keep it consistent. He's a great player. He just has to keep it up. If he can consistently bring that performance out week by week, that'll make the defense just take us to a whole nother level for sure.
Bro, hey, you give me 12 tackles and 2 pass breakups week in, week out, you're gonna get your $100 million. Even if it ain't here, you're gonna get it somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Cleveland will surely give that to you.
Yeah. Well, they ain't got no money left, but yeah, somebody will.
Well, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. A team will. I just named a random team, but somebody will give that to you. Arizona, Indianapolis, somebody, any team out there will, and that's why, as much as I love Devin White's play from week 1, and I hope he does keep it up, the consistent factor is a reason why I'm going to pivot for player of the game. Again, I think Devin White's going to have a big game, a good game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to go with Antoine Winfield Jr. for my player of the game. For multiple reasons. He looked like Rondé Barber out there last week. I mean, this guy looked exactly like Rondé out there. He was ducking and diving after the quarterback. He got a lot of pressures. He got some good pass breakups. He got some good coverage in. He reminds me of Rondé, guys. I know they play a little bit different style of ball here and there in terms of actual, technicalities of the game, but in terms of the overall scheme of things, how they're used, how they cover, how they get after the quarterback, he reminds me of Rondé, and I love Winfield, and I think he's going to have a hell of a game tomorrow Sunday. Justin Fields the speedster, the opposing quarterback, even if he can't throw too well, which you never know what game could be his breakout game. But one thing that doesn't go bad, fellas, his legs are never bad. So we got to be careful with him.
No, I mean, really, that's the one part of Devin White's game that I love and respect. You put him in spy mode. I don't care how fast that quarterback is. He's so quick in reaction. His first step, his speed in that regard. If I'm sitting in Devin White on the A-gap blitz, or I'm putting Devin White in spy on the quarterback, I have 120% confidence in him in those roles. Yep. If I need him to read and react and get his depth and coverage as a true Mike, yeah, I'm worried about him in that regard. But you see, like guys like Cole Kmet, who's a talent at tight end, they paid him as such. They don't even target the guy. What did he get? 2 targets last week? Justin Fields, 6 targets. I mean, Justin Fields, Moore. They traded to get Moore, 6 targets, 2 catches.
Because he was locked up, but.
Well, I mean, hey, locked up or not, you target your guys, especially when you don't have a lot of guys.
Exactly.
You target your guys.
Bucco, did you see last night the altercation that Brown got into with Jalen Hurts because he wasn't targeting him?
Yeah, I mean,
it was kind of like
I seen it, and I hit on that under 5.5 receptions for AJ Brown. I hit on that on shout out to Prize Picks. We made about $200 last night on that game. it went exactly as predicted, bro. That game was so predictable, except for the breakout performance of DeAndre Swift, because my guy here, the true Buccateer, left him on the bench. Oh my Jesus! Thank you, sir, for doing that.
Well, I got a lot of running backs. First of all,
Pacheco. Yeah, way to go.
That touchback killed them last night. That touchback killed them.
Wait till Pacheco outdoes Swift.
I got 100. Says that's not even close to happening.
No, it was a bad play by me.
Terrible. Don't defend it. Just say, my bad.
That's why you don't get into 8 fantasy leagues right there. Because
bro, I'm in the same. Like, you know how screwed I do. Tones, I have 2 leagues where my 2 running backs are Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler. What the hell am I supposed to do this Sunday? What? Yeah. I don't know what to do. I have no clue.
In my bold prediction at the year beginning, and I love Aaron Jones for what he does on the field, but I think that A.J. Dillon might take over that backfield by year's end. That kid's a spunky runner on the Packers.
You don't have to.
What was the score for last night?
The score
it was 34-28?
24, I think.
The 34-28 was last night.
34-28. Yep, that's it. Yeah. It was a 6-point game, and my ass, I made a good betting maneuver last night. The spread was 6.5. I bumped it down to 4, so I won money. I didn't lose by that half point.
And while I'm on here living in Georgia, let me give a big middle finger to the senators and Congress members of the state of Georgia refusing to legalize gambling here. It's a shame that all I get is Prize Picks. That's the only thing I can do.
If Illinois could legalize it, y'all could legalize it, fellas. As we wind down on the Buccateers here, Bucco, Hancho, and Tones taking you a little bit longer here. That extra yard.
It's the Bucco and Tones show tonight, boy.
Hey, man,
killing it today.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, Ben, if there's something you want to get out, man, if we dogged you, my apologies. I get to yapping when I'm on the.
Man, y'all good. I'm here every time, Bucco. You take the floor. Trust me. We need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Guys are always free to take the floor.
I just shout out to the crew.
If they score what they score against if Phillies, I mean the Vikings put up what you said, 28 points. Yeah. And they supposed to have, they could have had another touchdown if the touchback didn't happen. You get what I'm saying? And for our defense to hold them to 17 points, that's kind of like, that's major.
But let's talk about that, though. Let's talk about that because the Vikings have 8 fumbles in 2 weeks. They've lost 6 of them. Right. So seven total turnovers. And they've lost both games by 3 and 6 points, respectively. With having all them turnovers, like, bro, if figure out how to hold on to the ball, they're actually a solid squad, right? So I'm not saying Minnesota is terrible.
Right.
So, but for us to go in their crib with all the unknowns, all the brand news, and win the way we did, I think that's a catapult going forward. And then I also get confidence watching what Minnesota's defense did to them, sacking them 4 times, limiting their big plays outside of 2 blown coverages, and obviously DeAndre Swift ain't running for $175 on us.
Right.
When we play Philly Monday night, I'm actually a little bit more confident. We can make that a fucking football game, boys. I mean, I'm not trying to look past Chicago, but Jalen Hurts is 0-3 against us.
Exactly.
Let's make it 0-4.
Well, they won last year against us. They won.
No, they did not. No, we didn't play him last year.
Then we.
No, we didn't play him last year because
we didn't play him.
The only team we played from their division last year was the Cowboys, and we beat them on opening night.
We played him as a rookie, and then we played him twice his second year in week 14, and then in the playoffs, and beat his ass both times that year.
Yeah, I was at that game at the playoffs.
It was 31-7. We sat everybody down in the third quarter. We whooped their ass. It was not even close.
The encouraging thing with me about that last night, because when we played Minnesota, we left some touchdowns on the field. We left plays.
We did that Keith touchdown in the first quarter. Jumps to mind immediately.
Exactly. Like, come on, it's some shit.
The Mike Evans drop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that Keith overthrow was so disheartening. He was so wide open. Because Keith is not a route runner. He's not a receiver, but he cooked that goddamn. He cooked them so bad, and he was so wide open. Oh my God, that made me so mad.
Baker seen so much money right there, he overthrew it.
So let's hope we come out a little bit more. We need to come out a little bit more relaxed because we had 4 penalties on the first 3 drives of the game. We had 4 3-and-outs. Let's come out a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more, punch from the early start, and we can put these boys away early. And I like what you said, Tones. At 30-21, it sounds nice, but I don't want to give up 21 points to this offense. I don't think that's a good look. Even if we're missing 3 starters on defense, even if
Jalen Hurts just gonna rank. I mean, not Jalen Hurts, but whatever his name.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, he's gonna run. That's pretty much his stilo is running. And I don't know how they're gonna use DJ Moore in this offense. So it kind of it doesn't scare me.
He's never scored a touchdown against us. He's played us 8 times. He's never scored.
Yeah, so. He's a good yardage guy, but I'm not really afraid of a guy like that in terms of doing too much damage against us. And we are at 1:00 Eastern time Sunday on Fox, and the announce crew is Joe Davis and Daryl Moose Johnston for the
game. Oh God, he hates us. Oh my God. I hate listening to Moose talk about the Bucs. He shits on us, man. Oh, it don't matter. Who cares?
He was crapping on us last week for having.
Well, yeah, he was because he's mad that his brother's better than him. It is what it is.
Exactly. Everything in your life, he's mad.
And we had sourpuss Matt Ryan in the booth last week as well.
That 28-3 troll was funny though. That 28-3 troll was hilarious.
It was.
Did you
catch that, Tones?
Yeah, Catalan's one of the better color commentators or play-by-play guys in the game, in my opinion. Yeah. And he snuck that in there so nicely, and
it was so slick.
Face was all smiles, and then he just went.
Yeah, he
turnovers is why. Yeah, bitch. Shut up, Matt Ryan.
And you had a couple anti-Bucs in there, but speaking of Bucs, we're about to be on our one big thing and walk off before we do our last words here, and then bounce out of here. Bucco, what's your one big thing and walk off you're either looking forward to for the Bucs this Sunday or for anywhere around the NFL this Sunday?
Well, 2 things. One, I want to see at least 3 quarters of solid football, not just a quarter and a half or 2.5. I want to see at least 3 quarters of solid football against a worse team. We should be preparing ourselves for Philly and the Saints the next 2 weeks. So I want to see some solidarity amongst the team. But I'm going to shoot over to the MLB, and I'm going to shout out, first off, my Atlanta Braves for just being so damn dominant this season and doing what we're doing. But also to the Tampa Bay Rays, my, April, March World Series prediction was Atlanta versus Tampa Bay. And here we are, two games out of 4 taken from the Orioles. 2 more games to go, only down by 1. Let's go Rays. Take that AL East. We'll see you in October, baby. Let's go Braves. Let's go Rays. Go Tampa. Let's roll.
Troptober in Tampa, we'll have to call it. And Hancho, what's your one big thing and walk off, either for the Bucs or around the world of sports, before we get to our last word, brother?
I want us to come out fast. I want us to come out fast. I want us to clean up all those mistakes that we made, the miscues. I don't want to see too many blown coverages. I want to just play I want to see 4 quarters of solid football, like especially a team like the Bears. I want us
being
to
greedy now.
Yeah, I want us to hey, that's what I'm here for. I don't want to play. I want to win big.
Yeah,
I just want to see our offense continue to pick up where they left off last week, and I just want to see us gather and be a dominant. If we can be dominant against the Bears, like put on a performance. Like last week was week 1. It was the Vikings. They were in our league. Let's go in here. When they come here, let's dominate the fucking Bears. Like we need to. And that's I want to see solid play calling from Dave Canales. And that's what I'm looking forward to. He started off slow last week. I just want us to get off to a fast pace this week, guys.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that, it'd be a great thing to get out there and dominate and really try and put your foot in the ground here in week 2 and go into the Eagles game with some momentum after hopefully winning 2 in a row. I'll have to say my one big thing and walk off for the Bucs is just stick to the course, right? Stick to what you know best. Get out with the early lead here, try to, and then clamp down on defense. Todd Bowles, pressure Fields, QB spy Fields, pressure Fields, make Fields fall into those traps, make him make a couple of mistakes that young quarterbacks generally make. And then offensively, this Bears team gets gashed on the ground. Although Rashad White and, UDFA Tucker didn't get a ton of looks last week. Tucker didn't, and Rashad White didn't look overly great in his. Don't be afraid to run the football. Give some good creative runs out there. I think we could really pound it down their throat, but at the same time, I think Baker's going to pick and have a beautiful game.
Pause.
Whoa, yeah. No, that was kind of major for this podcast.
Nah, but hey, look,
baby.
I'm not naive enough to see a 24 carry, 175 yard performance from our runners. But damn it, try. Yeah. Try to run the ball and run. Goddamn it, offensive line, enforce your will on your opponent. Right. This 2 and 3 yard carry stuff, no. Get out. I want 4 yards plus per carry from both of my running backs, just like the Packers did.
Put your head
enforce
down.
your will. Let's go. Be physical.
Exactly.
That's my one last thing.
No dancing.
Get your dirty yards. Put your head down. My last thing to look around the world of sports is I think we're growing into an era where we're going to pretty soon get doubleheaders almost every Monday Night Football week out there. And it started with week 1 being Monday Night Football doubleheaders. Last year it changed into week 2 Monday Night Football doubleheader. This year we get 3 Monday Night Football doubleheaders. Starting with Monday, you get Panthers, Saints, Browns, Steelers. So just be on the lookout. To me, over the course of the next couple of years, the NFL has put in the wheel in motion that we're going to keep growing and growing the Monday night industry, and we could really get to Monday Night Football doubleheaders on a potential regular basis. Hancho, what's your last word, brother? Last word for the podcast before the way too early pregame show.
I just want to say this. Baker Mayfield is a dog, a real dog, man. Just listening to those clips and how he's fiery and how he's just so in tune with the game. And it's just, man, I love having him it's just his personality just on this team is what we need. It's not soft. He's like whatever. Like I like the dude's a fighter. Like I love that shit. You need that from your quarterback to go out there and just give it his all and just be a dog. He out there talking shit. He out there putting his all into it. Like I can listen to this man mic'd up all day, man. That shit was great.
No. I echo that. And look, I'm going to draw a comparison, not to the two players for their career, obviously, but I hated Tom Brady for 20 years. I didn't understand what all the love was about. Then he came here, and I said we saw all the behind the scenes shit. We saw the clips, the mic'd up clips. We saw, you know, his camaraderie with the guys and how he was just one of the guys, even though he's a goat, right? So we all like, how do you not like Tom Brady, right? How do you hate him? Because I hated him for 20 years. How did I hate him? I've hated Baker since he was at Oklahoma, grabbing his crotch. You know, I thought he was a little punk type stuff. Now that I'm seeing, no, that's just a competitor. It's fiery, like he's trying to, rally a team around him. How do you not like Baker Mayfield? How did I not like him for so long? Just like I didn't like Brady for so long. These guys are the competitors. They're great dudes, and let's go, man. Let's bake.
Yeah, let's bake, baby. We didn't know him, Bucko. We didn't know him. Just like Dave Canales said in his presser, he was like, he doesn't really know. He didn't know him, just to get him on his like close to you and be on the side of him and see how he thinks and how his moxie in person, and it's just different when he's on your team. Same thing with Brady. I hated that bitch too, but having him on a team, I really like it. It just showed me another side of him, and I really appreciate his time here.
It's weird because I always liked Brady. Then when he came here, I loved him more, but I wasn't a huge Baker fan. So now I get the analogy completely of a lot of people not liking Brady and then respecting him. So I get the same sense with Baker, and I'm loving what Baker is doing here. I'm ready to run through a wall for that motherfucker. I'll do whatever.
Let's go, motherfucker. Yeah, it's way better than Kyle Trask. Come on.
Yeah,
I
love Trask, but love me Baker. Let's go, Baker. Let's bake these
fire. He just got that fire, and the team rallies behind him, man. You can't.
Yeah, man. I'm ready to give this man a Danny Dimes type contract.
Yeah. No, the fuck you're not. Hold on, man. Calm down.
Yeah.
So now you're doing too much. You had to go and ruin a good time. Typical Chicago motherfucker. Yeah, I love it.
Let's see this second game, man, because he's
playing. You gonna give him $40 million for what?
Yo, I'm kidding. Y'all had me hyped up, my
bro. Hey, 2 months ago I wanted to tank for Caleb. Now you talking about giving Baker $40 million? Not now. Now I see why.
Let's give him a blank check.
What you drinking over there?
Apparently that craft beer is stronger than my goddamn Larceny Bourbon. Shout out to Larceny Bourbon.
I do hope you guys know where it's headed, though. If we do make the playoffs, we're going to have to pay the man. I mean, maybe not 40 mil, but it's going to have to be hefty.
I mean, honestly, bro, let's worry about that road when we cross it.
I agree, but I'm just saying, if he continues to bake like we hope he does, he's not going to come cheap.
Yeah. What y'all said after you finished, Bucko?
Well, no, I'm saying I don't see 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns. I don't see transcendent play.
Barely threw 16 touchdowns.
Okay, and look, none of us would have gave him that contract. Yeah, okay, that was a damn mistake. And we're also not going to lose 40-0 to anybody. I don't care if it's Dallas. I don't care if it's the 85 Bears. We're not going to lose 40-0 to anybody. So, yeah, no, Danny Dimes, bro. Look, and I'm all for guys getting paid. I'm on the side of the player in this regard, not the billionaire owner. But in some regards, some of these guys don't deserve that money, bro. And Kyler Murray and Danny Dimes are at the top of that list for me. Fuck both of them.
And you could throw Geno Smith in there too, I believe. Although
I heard what y'all said, what both of y'all said, Tones. What y'all both said about Mike Evans when the show started. Talking about don't pay him. Fuck both of y'all. Pay Mike.
Well, no, hold on. No, I'm not paying him Cooper Cup money. Look, Killer. He's 31, bro. It is not conducive for a team to have two. Like if he wants to come back here, do just like we did with Vontae. Go and test that market. I guarantee you he don't get north of 20 from anybody.
Yeah,
you come back here, you pay for 3 years, $48 million, finish your career right here, and be done with it. This $25+ million a year shit, let that go, bro. You ain't getting it. You ain't getting that.
No offense too, especially when you drop as easy as a pass as he did last week. I don't think that's gonna look too great on a lot. I love Evans and I want to pay him, but I want to pay him fairly. I think he deserves, right around the 20 million a year mark. I don't think he deserves I think he deserves all the money in the world, but I don't think the future Mike Evans should get $27-28 million a year. I mean, that's a lot of money to cough up, but that's a whole nother wheel to go down. Is I do have the pay Mike shirt on. I want to keep Mike here forever. I do think we find a happy median with Mike, and I think that resides somewhere in the 3 for 60 range with a couple of built-in incentives. But fellas, any last words before we close it out and I run down our Sunday show?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and get mine in there. It was an honor to chop it up with y'all on this cocktail hour. Forgive me, audience. Bourbon Bucco is a thing. The man, the myth, the legend. It's an honor to chop it up with you. Let's go Bucs. That's 2 weeks in a row. Me joining the pod pregame. Hopefully that means 2 victories. So that means we got to do this next Friday. Right. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's ride. I'd love to do it next Friday, going 2-0 after that. Hancho, last word, buddy.
Man, yeah, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all killed it tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's Uncle Buck, the talking schmuck. You get what I'm saying? He's in the building. Tones always holding it down. We'll see y'all Sunday morning. We're going to talk our shit, get hyped for game day. Everybody stay blessed, stay safe out there. Go Bucs.
Yeah, Hunch, you stay blessed. You stay safe. I had a ball last Sunday talking Bucs ball that early, brother. It is an early wake up for us, but we bust our ass and we do it for the people. We're here to bring you guys the latest and greatest on Sundays and on game days. Huncho did a great job last week alongside myself on the Way Too Early pregame show, which does take place 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time on game day mornings. Grab your coffee, grab your Bloody Mary, grab your bagel, grab your donut, and come hang out with Huncho, myself, and anyone else that may join us that beautiful game day morning. But Huncho's right. It's another great day here on the Buccateers. We thank J-Lo, Kenny Barrett for joining in the chat, everybody else, Levi, Tyler, watching on Facebook. We appreciate JC Allen from Sports Illustrated giving his time and hopping in. Once again, thank you to Smack Apparel for the Pay Mike shirt. Obviously, I got a gift card and I got this shirt with it, so it was a beautiful thing. Shout out to everything in between, and I'm ready to go 2-0. We'll see you guys Sunday right here, 8:05 a.m. Eastern, 7:05 a.m. Central on the Buccateers for the Way Too Early pregame show. It'll be at least Huncho and myself. You guys stay safe, stay blessed, stay humble. Huncho, you stay safe, healthy, and I'll see you Sunday, brother.
Yes, sir. You too, bro.
Love you, my man. See ya. Be safe. Have a great Saturday.
Love, bro.
Meant to say quick, fire the damn cannon. Sorry about that. Now I can end it. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.